Hello, everyone. I will say a few things in English, then I will say a few things in Arabic. At the beginning, I want to thank the five countries led by the delegation of United Arab Emirates, along with France, China, Ireland, and Norway, for responding to our call that the Security Council has to discuss the situation, the explosive situation in East Jerusalem, in particular the Al-Haram al-Sharif and Al-Aqsa Mosque during these very important time of the holy month of Ramadan. And also I want to thank all those who have expressed support in the Security Council for the condemnation of this aggression by the Israeli occupying authorities in storming Al-Aqsa Mosque and Al-Haram al-Sharif, along with extreme settlers, with complete disregard to the sensitive feelings of the Palestinian Muslims who are worshipping during this very important time of Al-Aqsa Mosque. Not only we condemn this aggression, but we call for the immediate withdrawal of all Israeli occupying forces from the compound of Al-Aqsa Mosque and Al-Haram al-Sharif, and the complete withdrawal of these forces, in addition to the release of all those who have been arrested since last Friday in the compound. And we call on the Security Council, along with the Secretary General of the United Nations, to provide international protection for our people from this onslaught against our people in this holy month of Ramadan. In this regard, we appreciate and thank our brothers in Jordan who have called for an emergency ministerial meeting on Thursday of Jerusalem Committee of the League of Arab States to take further steps in this regard. Also, we are having a meeting tomorrow with the caucus of the non-aligned movement in the Security Council to keep the pressure on the Security Council to stop this aggression against Al-Aqsa Mosque and Al-Haram al-Sharif, which we condemn in the strongest terms. And all these steps are in preparation for the open debate on the 25th in the Security Council. Let me say a few things in Arabic. بداية نشكر الأشقاء في وفد الإمارات العربية المتحدة مع فرنسا والصين وإيرلندا والنرويج على استجابتهم السريعة لطلبنا في تحرك في مجلس الأمن وإضافة بند على جدول الأعمال حول العدوان الإسرائيلي ضد الأماكن المقدسة في القدس المحتلة، وفي المقدمة منها المسجد الأقصى والحرم الشريف. وندين هذا العدوان بأقوى لغة ممكنة، ونطالب بوقفه وبسحب كل القوات الإسرائيلية من رحاب المسجد الأقصى في هذا الشهر الفضيل، شهر رمضان المبارك، وإطلاق سراح جميع الذين تم اعتقالهم منذ يوم الجمعة الماضي، ووقف هذا العدوان. ونطالب مجلس الأمن بطبيعة الحال بتحمل مسؤوليته في وقف هذا العدوان وتوفير الحماية للسكان المدنيين تحت الاحتلال، مترافقة هذه الجهود مع جهود الأمين العام في هذا الصدد. سنستمر في جهودنا المتواصلة في هذا الجانب، وسنلتقي غدا مع كتلة عدم الانحياز في مجلس الأمن لتستمر الجهود والضغط على مجلس الأمن لتحمل مسؤولياته في وقف هذا العدوان ضد أهلنا في المسجد الأقصى الحرم الشريف. وكذلك ستكون هذه خطوة إضافية على طريق عقد الاجتماع المفتوح الفصلي في مجلس الأمن يوم 25 الشهر، متمنيين أنه في ذلك التاريخ وقبله قد توقفت هذه الحملة التي تقوم بها سلطة الاحتلال الإسرائيلي من العدوان الذي نشاهده منذ فترة في المسجد الأقصى الحرم القدسي الشريف. شكرا جزيلا. ممكن أخذ سؤالين؟ نعم.
Are you disappointed the fact that there was no statement from the Security Council today? And number two, some countries like the United States, they are really outspoken when it's about human rights and freedom of religion. But when it's about Palestine and Israel conflict, they are a little bit shy. That's what we are witnessing today. What's your comment on that? Thank you.
Well, of course, we always, expect from the Security Council more than what they do. They have a responsibility to act to stop this aggression immediately. But also, in the same time, we know what each delegation said, and one can say that there was unanimity in the closed meeting of the Security Council in standing against this aggression, respecting the historic status quo on Al-Aqsa Mosque and Al-Haram al-Sharif, and acknowledging the custodianship of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. But in our opinion, that is not sufficient. We need more, and that's why we keep knocking on the door of the Security Council and all components of the United Nations, including the good offices of the Secretary General of the United Nations. That's why we will have the other meeting tomorrow, and then we will have the 25th of this month meeting.
Sam Azim from Al Arab Al Jadid newspaper. On the other meeting that you're mentioning that's going to take place tomorrow, is it at the Security Council? Can you elaborate on that? And then you talked about providing protection for the Palestinian people as people under occupation. Could you talk about specific steps? I know I'm aware of the report of the SG, but are there any specific steps that being taken in this direction? Could you elaborate? Thank you.
Well, first of all, the meeting tomorrow is a meeting between the delegation of the State of Palestine based on our request with the caucus of the non-aligned movement in the Security Council. It's composed of 6 member states in the Security Council. Also with us in that meeting will be the chairman of the non-aligned movement, the ambassador of Azerbaijan, and also there will be a delegation from the leadership of the Committee on the Exercise of the Inalienable Rights of the Palestinian people. It is an effort by us to continue pressuring the Security Council to shoulder its responsibility with regard to doing everything possible to stop this aggression against our people in the Al-Aqsa Mosque and in Al-Haram al-Sharif. With regard to protection, the Security Council adopted over the years many resolutions related to the issue of protection. Just I will mention 2 of them, 681 and 940. 940 specifically related to the massacre that took place in Al-Haram al-Ibrahimi al-Sharif, in which in that resolution many things were asked for, including disarming the settlers and providing international temporary presence to provide protection for the Palestinian people in all of the occupied territory, including East Jerusalem. Of course, the issue of protection after what happened in 2017 in the Gaza Strip, when we went to the Security Council and the General Assembly and requesting from the SG to submit a report about methods and ways of providing protection, and he did, that issue was brought into the forefront during the last session of the General Assembly, in which the efforts of the SG in these connections were welcomed, and we are engaging in a quiet diplomacy with the Office of the SG and others as to see how we can move this issue forward. But be that as it may, the demand for providing protection for the civilian population under occupation is on the top of our agenda. When the occupying power abdicate its responsibility to provide protection under the provisions of the Fourth Geneva Convention, then it becomes the responsibility of the international community to provide protection. We will continue our efforts in that direction, especially as some of you referred to, that the Security Council moves very fast in other situations, but they drag their feet on our issue. We are not easing our efforts. We will continue working with the Security Council so to use one stick of measurements in dealing with all issues equally, because international law should not be divided and dealt with in a selective way. But we are patient, and we appreciate the support that we have at the United Nations, in the international community, and inside the Security Council itself, but we want to see results. That is not sufficient. It is good, we appreciate it, but we need to go further in order to see it being implemented on the ground. And I thank you very much.